Judy Zelina with the Millcreek Government Channel. Anytime is a great time to enjoy Presque. Join me as we visit with some of the staff, see what programs they have in place for the upcoming months. Joining me at the Dinosaur Exhibit here at the Trek Center, we have Scott McKenzie, and Scott is the Assistant Professor of Geology at Mercyhurst University.
That's right.
Scott, thank you so much for joining us. And this exhibit is, I have to tell you, a favorite of probably pretty much every tourist that comes into the Trek Center.
Well, of course, that's music to my ears. We put a lot of energy into bringing the public something new and different every year, and this is probably one of our finest exhibits.
I was looking around at some of the different exhibits you have here. Where do they come from? Do we have anything locally here that you're displaying in this exhibit?
This year it's all material from the age of dinosaurs, and the rocks in our area do not include any remains from the Mesozoic time period. So this year it's all stuff from all over the world. We have pieces from China, we have pieces from Morocco in North Africa, pieces from England, Lebanon, really all over the world.
How did this partnership happen with the Trek Center and Mercyhurst to bring this display here?
Well, we have this very large collection which was donated to the university by Michael and Barbara Sinchak of Treasures of the Earth in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. When they gave us this collection, we knew that we wanted to share it with our students and with the community. For a few years, we exhibited some of the materials in our art gallery, but the art gallery is small and cannot accommodate some of the largest pieces. So we decided that we would approach some local venues to see if we could have something that was both free to the public and large enough to display a significant portion of the collection. And Trek was the ideal choice because this exhibit is open every day of the week, including Sundays, for anyone to come in and see it free of charge.
Now, how long will the exhibit be on display?
The exhibit is going to run until the 20th of February, 2013.
Okay, I have a question. After February, are there items that will be on display at Mercyhurst University?
Yes, we always have some displays in the hallways and in some of our labs. A lot of these are used by our students for various classes all the time. And we have so many pieces, though, that at any given time, even in a display like this, we can only display a small number of pieces. We have some specimens that weigh over 2 tons that have never been on display in the university or here because the floors will not support them. So we're looking in the future for a donor to help us build a large atrium onto the science building that would bear the donor's name.
This exhibit is absolutely wonderful. All right, Scott, what's your favorite item here on display? I know you love them all, but you got to have a favorite. Come on.
Oh, that's true. I do love them all. And if I had to pick a favorite today, I'd have to say the horseshoe crab fossil from Lebanon. It's from the age of dinosaurs.
All right.
And it's closely related to modern day horseshoe crabs that live in the ocean off the coast of Japan. And this one was found in Lebanon. And the reason it's such an interesting piece for us locally is that we have some of the oldest horseshoe crabs known in America right locally in the stream beds and the shales and sandstones of our area. So it's a bit of a local story, although it comes from Lebanon.
How interesting. Scott, thank you so much for taking the time to set up this display. And I know you have had different displays previous years, correct?
That's correct, and we hope to have new displays in the future to delight children of all ages.
Stacy Moran is here to tell us about a walking program that they're going to be having here at Presque this winter. And it has a kind of an interesting name, Stacy. What is it called?
It's called the New Year's Resolution Walks.
Okay, New Year's resolution. Why New Year's resolution?
Well, it's going to begin January 3rd is when our walks are going to start, and it's going to be every Thursday until the end of March. And it's designed for people who are making a resolution to whether it can be get outside more or lose some weight or just get some more exercise.
Okay, so when I make that resolution, January 1st, to lose 5 pounds and get healthier, you're the one I'm coming to see, right?
Yeah, absolutely, because this is you're getting outside, you're getting fresh air, and some people don't like going to the gym. Sometimes it's stuffy, it's crowded, and so why not come out to the park and actually get some nice, clean, fresh air and be able to socialize with other people who are walking. And not only that, you don't have to pay a gym fee.
Okay, now to register for this program, am I going to have to call and sign up, or would I just show up?
You just show up. We will meet at 6:30 Thursday nights at the ranger station. Now that doesn't mean we're going to start from the ranger station. We may start from any of the interior trails that are on the park. We're going to do a variety of different walks. So we're going to go on Dead Pond, and we might go on Long Pond Trail and do the Marsh Trail and different interior trails that there are.
So really the ranger station is just the starting point, and
Right.
every Thursday. Now, another thing I wanted to ask, weather. Now, we happen to have a pretty nice winter last year. What if we get bombarded with snow? Are you going to be canceling any of this?
Absolutely not.
Oh, no. They're diehards out here.
It is. I mean, if you've ever actually taken a walk during a snowstorm, it's just beautiful, and it gives you such an exhilarating feeling to be out there, and kind of to know that everyone else is snuggled up in their houses, and I'm outside and I'm taking a walk, and it just makes you feel refreshed and just alive.
How long of a walk usually is this?
It'll be my walks have averaged between 2 and 3 miles.
All right. Is there an age limit on this?
I wouldn't really bring small children out, especially if the weather's bad, because they're not as apt to be. A lot of times, little children don't look at it as being exhilarated; they just look at it as being miserable. I wouldn't bring small children out.
Okay.
So I'd say maybe, it depends on your child. If you think that they would enjoy something like that, then bring them.
I think this is a great idea. It really is, because we have Presque out here. There is so much to enjoy down here, and walking, of course, is one of the activities that so many of us come down and do. But you always make something fun in a walk.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things. We're going to talk about some history of the park, and stop at different points and talk about that. And even though it's winter time, a lot of people think, I'm not going outside anymore, I'm done with that. But like I said, not only exhilarating, but also since the leaves are off the trees, if there's animals out, you can hear them better.
Oh, because there's no buffer.
There's no buffer.
So that would be interesting. Now, I know you have a light. If I come on this walk, am I supposed to bring a flashlight or something?
You can bring a flashlight, although we encourage that you don't use your flashlight unless you absolutely have to. And if you have to, try to have a red lens on it, because the red lens takes down the glare, and you're not diminishing your night vision as much with a red lens.
So do you use that if you hear animals, and you would be able to use that light and you might be able to spot them? Is that what that's for?
Yeah, so let's say I hear a raccoon or I see something. This is actually, it shines pretty far,
Okay.
kind of like a mag light.
All right.
So I'm able to get pretty good distance with this red light to
Okay.
shine on animals. But also, if somebody has come and they are a little bit afraid of, maybe their night vision isn't as good as other people's may be, I definitely encourage to bring a flashlight and shine it at your feet, so that you don't, trip over anything for
Okay.
safety reasons.
Okay, what if it's really snowy and it's hard to get through the trails?
If it's really snowy, if you have snowshoes, bring them.
Okay.
Either that, if with some of the trails we're walking on, we may walk a little bit on some of the bike trail.
Okay.
And it may be plowed off, but it still might be a little icy.
Okay.
So you might be able to wear, some people have the traction that they can put on their boots, little cleats to help so that they don't fall on the ice. So you can bring those. We might have snowshoes in order for you to rent, that you can rent in order to take on the walk.
Okay, Stacy, thank you so much for joining us, telling us about this New Year's resolution walk. What a great idea. You've got to come down, try it out. And I understand last year's turnout was phenomenal, so I'm sure through word of mouth, you're going to have a lot more
I hope so.
joining you. Stacy, thank you.
Thank you.
Snowshoeing is a very popular sport down here at Presque. And here to tell us about the programs they have in place is John Laskos. John, it's always good to see you.
And you.
So we're going to be talking about snowshoeing today.
Correct. Several times throughout the winter, if conditions permit, we like to have snowshoeing events on the park.
Okay.
We can either do it a part of our night hike, where the public would bring their own snowshoes. And if there's enough snow during January, February, March, and we're doing a night hike, people can bring their snowshoes out and participate with the night hike with their snowshoes. We also try to put together 2 or 3 programs throughout the year for area homeschool children. And in the winter, we like to put on a homeschool snowshoe day. And I'll take about 40 or 50 participants for that, because we were fortunate enough to be given a grant, a gift from Highmark Insurance, and they provided us with 50 pairs of snowshoes of all different sizes, such as this one. And participants from the homeschool program who come out to snowshoe with us will be given a pair of these according to their size and weight. There's different sizes of snowshoes for how much a person weighs or
And
how
that's
tall
what I
they are.
wondered. I see the different size. One's my size and one's your size.
One's your size, which was
That's
what
right.
you have, and then this one would be my size.
Okay. And the reason, because of the difference in size, is for weight, correct?
Primarily for weight, and height too, but not to such a degree as the weight.
All right.
Now I'm 6'3" and about 200 pounds. You're just a petite little thing.
I'm 5 foot and we'll
And
just
I
end
would
it there.
wear something like this. You would wear something like that.
Okay.
And this particular model is very easy to get on off. It's just a ratchet system. You slide your foot in, you make sure your heel is down here,
All right.
and then you put your foot in and ratchet yourself in there. And then when you're done, you simply flip the lever and off it comes.
So when you have the classes come down, you're going to have these available for the children.
Correct.
Because face it, most of them are not going to have snowshoes.
No, most people do not have snowshoes, but it's a sport that is becoming more and more popular.
Yes, it is.
As long as there's snow on the ground.
That's right.
We didn't get to do any snowshoeing last year because there was no snow.
And you're hoping it's going to be a lot different this year, don't you?
I hope so.
You know what, though, John? I see over next to you, there are some other snowshoes that look a bit different from the ones we were just holding. What's the difference for those?
These are different types of snowshoes. These are handmade, and oftentimes we'll have classes out here on the park, as we do this coming January. My coworker Stacy will be putting on a class to learn how to make snowshoes.
Make your own snowshoes.
Make your own. These are a little different from the ones I just showed you because, for one, they're handmade, and 2, they don't have any metal cleats on the bottom like this one did.
Okay.
The benefits for these are simply the satisfaction of handcrafting something long-lasting and an enjoyable tool to recreate in the winter. And these come in several different sizes and models too. I believe this one is called the Algonquin model. This is designed for more of a longer cross-country tour in open fields. And this one is designed more for trails. It's shorter. The rounded tips won't get caught on brush or debris, trees like that one might.
Okay.
It's also shorter, and it has, this one is complete. It has the binding on it. That one is not complete yet. It needs to have the bindings installed.
Now, if I come to sign up for this class to make snowshoes, I would pick from either one of these, or are you just going to have one model available?
I believe there's going to be one model available,
Okay.
and it's going to be kind of a combination of the Algonquin model and this model. She's going to make a model called the Huron, which is more of this length with the tapered tips on it.
Okay. Now, of course, we're going to sign up for the class. You would have to register, pre-register for that. What about any of the snowshoeing walks?
For any of the walks or snowshoeing events that we have on the park, you can call the park office
Okay.
at 833-7424. You can like us on Facebook, and the name would be Presque State Park.
All right.
On that website, we update daily
Okay.
on the programs and activities that are going on in the park.
Ray Bierbauer has a program that is a lot of fun down here at Presque. It's the night walks.
Yep.
Now, I know we've talked about you doing the night walks in the summer, but you continue them right through the winter, don't you?
Yes, we continue every month. We do at least one night hike a month. So we're all over the park. We go through Presque and Erie Bluff State Park as well. So you never know where we're going to be. We do different trails and stuff throughout the year too.
I guess so.
Yep.
Now, my son, if I came out here and did the night hikes with you in the summer and then I do them in the winter, am I going to see different animals?
Yep.
Am I going to hear different things?
Yeah, in the spring and summer, it's going to be a little bit more of a hearing experience. Like you're going to hear a lot of the birds migrating and stuff like that. So you'll experience that a little bit different. It tends to be a little bit louder too because of all the insects and everything. Now in the winter, it's a little bit quieter. We have the snow cover, so you hear a lot more of the sounds throughout the woods, and you're not going to hear a lot of the birds and things like that. The one thing that we do pick up a lot in the winter though are the owls. So we do experience a lot more of that. And as for like the mammals and stuff, the coyotes, the fox, the deer, they're going to be seen and stuff throughout the year as well. In the winter, it is easier to see them though without the leaves on the trees.
Plus, with the moonlight, it would be so pretty with the snow.
We try to plan them around a full moon as best we can. So we do get that moonlight, and it can be very bright out there. And here at Presque, we get a lot of the ambient light from the city.
Okay.
And in the winter, it really lights up, especially the south end of the park a lot.
Okay, now, what if I brought a flashlight with me along with the walk?
A lot of people do feel comfortable bringing a light. We ask that you don't use them.
Okay.
If you do have a light, we recommend getting a red lens on it, though.
Why is that?
If you use the white light, it ruins your night vision. And we usually try to start them right around sunset, and then your eyes adjust over time to what light is available, and you can see a lot better. Now, if you use a white light, like a regular flashlight, you're going to ruin your night vision. It'll take like 45 minutes for that to get back to where it was.
I didn't know
So
that.
yeah, so it takes a while, but if you just let it go, especially in the winter out here, it's very easy to follow the paths and stuff and the trails. One of us, we always have lights with us in case something does happen or we need one, because there's been some nights where we've wanted to turn a light on trying to figure out where we are because it gets so dark sometimes. If the clouds roll in and you're in a heavy tree canopy too.
Ray, you've got some interesting items here. Tell our viewers a little bit about what some of these do.
Okay, these are some of the gizmos that we use when we're out on the trails. We bring some of them along every time, maybe not everyone, but the one thing here, this is one of our red lights. It has a red lens in it,
Okay.
and it also has a green light too, and then a white light. So that one has multiple lenses in it for different color light spectrums.
What does green do?
Green, this one's more for this is a tracking light, so for if we have an injured animal or something, we can see the blood on the trails and things along the way. The green and red will mix together to show that up very well.
Oh, okay.
In the leaf cover and stuff
Okay.
like that. This is our game call. This I can work with my computer and download a lot of different sounds onto it and play that to, if I want to see if the coyotes will answer back, I can do a coyote howl, pause it, and then we'll listen for a little while, see if anybody responds. We can do owl calls as well to see if anybody responds. We do the one popular sound that works well is a gray fox and a coyote fight,
Okay.
and that brings the other coyotes in to protect their kind. So that'll often bring them right into the group. We've had them come within 50 yards of the group, and then they'll realize there's people there,
Really?
and then they howl. Yeah. So. we can get them to respond that way. So that's a pretty useful tool to different sounds and stuff. And if we're talking about owls and stuff, we can play the owl sound so people can at least hear it. And, there's no guarantee these guys are going to come out and perform for us every night.
But it's fun when they do.
It is. I mean, we've been pretty lucky, I got to say. This object here, this is a FLIR. This is a thermal camera. So anything that's giving off any heat throughout the woods or anywhere is going to show up on there, and it's very detailed. And that's one of our newest toys that we got here.
So I looked through that.
Yep, you look through the eyepiece here.
Okay, and then this is the camera
Yep,
here.
and then this would be out there, and then you can see what's out there and scan, and you can pick out owls, deer, whatever it might be in the trees. You can actually look in old stumps and see mice in there. It'll penetrate that even a little bit. And it has the ability to take a still photo as well. So
wow,
if we see something cool, we want to get a picture of it, we can do that. So that's a really neat tool that we've added to our little arsenal of toys. Then the last thing here is our night vision. These we would take this cover off in the dark and look through this end, and you can see other objects out there. It kind of makes everything go green, they call it. So stuff looks green as you look through, but you can see very well with that as well. So anything that's moving around through the woods and stuff you can pick up. You can see pretty good distance as well with them.
So not only are you out observing nature, getting healthy and walking,
Yep.
you make it fun too.
Yeah, we make it fun. It includes some of the technology and stuff. The kids really enjoy using this
Oh, I
stuff.
can imagine.
All the Bigfoot shows that are out, they see the same stuff on there.
yeah.
This is the same stuff that they would use in those shows. So they get pretty excited about that.
Okay, Ray, if any of our viewers wanted to join you on these night walks, do they just call the Trek Center or look online for the
You
hours?
can look online or get on one of our program flyers. Most of them are no registration, no fees. You just show up at a certain spot
Great.
and meet us and go on the hike. So most are
there's-
about 2 hours.
To tell us about the evening naturalist talk that they're going to be having down at Presque, we have Emily Hauser. Emily, thank you for joining us on the program.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having us.
So tell our viewers a little bit about this naturalist talk.
Sure. These are evening naturalist talks. It's a series that'll take place between November and March of this year. A different day of the week every month, but once a month. They will happen from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. here at the Rotary Pavilion, and a different topic every month.
Okay, what will be some of the topics?
Sure. For instance, in November, we're going to be talking about the bald eagles. And December, we're going to switch up and talk about rabbits. In January, we're going to be doing coyotes and foxes, so like the fox that we have here. Two species that we do have on Presque Isle. And it's an interesting relationship between the two of them because they don't typically coexist in the same area. So it's unique here, and we're going to be talking about that.
And who's this guy?
This is the red-tailed fox.
Okay.
Yes.
He's so soft.
Yep, and then we're going to continue on into February with ice fishing, a little bit of history about it here on Presque Isle, as well as some fish identity, like we have here our largemouth bass, so one of the fish that people like to fish for out of our lagoons and out of our lake. And then finishing up in March with a little bit of storytelling from a very special visitor. Joe Root will be here with us giving some stories of the park from the past.
How interesting, how fun. Now, is this for just adults or for children?
This is definitely a family event. All ages are welcome. I would say as long as your children can sit through an hour and a half of a program, they are old enough to come. We do provide seating on our picnic benches, so all ages, as long as you don't mind sitting for a little bit. And our pavilion is not heated, but we do have the fire, and we're going to have hot beverages, hot chocolate and coffee to keep you nice and warm.
Oh, hot chocolate, I'll be here. And I have to tell you, this fire is very, very toasty.
Warm. It is very warm.
It's really warming
Yes.
up the pavilion.
Yes, it does. It does a very good job, and you should still probably maybe wear a coat, but layer because
Definitely.
you are probably going to get a little warm.
On some of these talks, you'll be, going over the fox or fish or whatever happens to be that subject matter. Will you be going outside at all, or is everything held right here in the pavilion?
For the most part, we will be inside the whole time. If the opportunity does exist at the end of the program, we could go outside, but it definitely is not a requirement for you. But say if we're talking about the Fox and we want to go maybe use one of our spotlights to see if we can see activity on the park, we'll walk around right here at the Rotary Pavilion and see what we can see.
Well, I think some of the younger ones are probably going to say, well, let's go out and see if we can find something.
Exactly.
Now, have you done these before, or is this going to be your first time doing
We
these
have done them
talks?
before. We started them last season
Okay.
and did a couple, and then we had one in October of this year. We did the North American Beaver, which was a great program. It was well attended and fun, and then we did get the opportunity to go outside and take a look at some of the beaver activity that we have here on the park, and even look to see if we could find a beaver.
Oh, now, if any of our viewers are interested in this, do they have to register?
Registration is recommended, only because that way we know exactly for sure that you're coming and we're prepared. However, it's not required. So if it's something that just, an hour before your family and you decide that you want to come down, please feel free, even if you didn't register, to stop in. The Rotary Pavilion is large and we have plenty of room.
And Emily, again, when are these talks held?
Yep, they will be once a month from November through March. And as far as knowing the specific days and the topics, they can always go to our website or call the park office for more information.
And what is the website?
It's trekpi.org, or they can also go to the DCNR website.
They can also pick up a brochure at the Trek Center.
Exactly. We do print out monthly flyers that list our upcoming events, so they can always pick those up or check them out online.
There's always something interesting going on
Yes.
down here. Emily, thank you for telling us about these talks. I think a lot of our viewers are going to find this interesting, make it a fun family night.
It is. Thank you.
Winter may seem like the perfect time for hibernation, but I'm hoping these programs at Presque will motivate some of you to come on down here and enjoy our brisk and invigorating winters. Thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.